Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, episode number 2 out of 7. Doing 100 of each Uber boss to see how profitable are they. Are they even profitable? How annoying certain bosses will be or have been. And yeah, we're gonna do this as a form of like a science project to see how good is that. This is video number 2, means we gonna do the follow-up video to the 100 Uber Eater of Worlds. And today we're gonna do 100 of the Uber Searing Exarch. So let's take a look at the write-down. We have a 100 Uber Searing Exarch going for about 1.2 divines per invitation, which is exactly the same price as the Eater of Worlds. This time I only spent 700 chaos for rolling all of these, so all of these invitations are above 70 quantity and somewhere between 40 and 50 rarity, and I think some are even like 90% or even 100%, but they are like very hard to roll because you cannot chisel them, you cannot like put in fragments for extra quantity and stuff like that, but this is how we roll them. So let's take a look at the loot table. What can potentially drop? We have the Annihilating Light, Dawn Strider, the Dawnbreaker Shield, then we have the Dissolution of Flesh and the Omniscience, or I like to call it the Nom Nom Science. There is one difference though to the Uber Eater, and that is that the perfect rolled Annihilating Light is about 80 chaos, and a shield with 20% fizz damage taken as fire is about 140 chaos baseline. They obviously vary based on the rolls, same as the Dissolution of Flesh and the Omniscience. All these prices here is the minimum buyout, okay? The better the rolls, the more expensive this is going to get. Then we have the Annihilating Approach, which are like the Uber Boots or something. Then we have the Reliquary Key, as well as all the other stuff, Eldritch Embers, like Annuals, Chaos Orb, Exalts, and the Auspicious Ambitions Divination card that actually drops from Uber bosses worth 5 chaos. So the big money gain will here be either the Omniscience, maybe we get lucky drops on Dawnbreaker, or the big Forbidden Flame Flesh jewel. So out of experience, I would say the red version of Forbidden Flame Flesh is usually worth about 3-4 times the amount of the blue version in most scenarios. There are expensive blue ones as well, but mostly, or most of the time, the red one is going for a lot more. So we hope for a bunch of good Forbidden Flame Flesh jewels. For example, if you get like Undeniable or something, I think they're worth like 90 or 100 divines in the red version, and there is a lot other ones from like the Deadeye, like +1 chain or something like that, that go for a lot of monies. On the Uber Eater, it was like more of an how many ashes do we get to make profit. Here, I think it's gonna be partly Omniscience, because they go for like about 13 divines, while the ashes go for like 40 divines. And yeah, we're gonna see how many of the red, or at least like good Forbidden Flame Flesh jewels we get. The total investment is about 123.07 divine orbs. So in a good old fashion, we're gonna run the first one together, and then we're gonna see us again with the final loot table, right? So first one here has a bunch of like extra crit, monster poison, whatever, you know, like all of them are rolled. I don't really check the mods. They most likely not gonna be deathless. Some are gonna be deathless. I don't know how bad is gonna be the ball face and stuff like that. Playing here an Armor Stacker Chieftain. Let's go on for the first one. This is monster level 85. This is an Uber boss, so we're just gonna press some buttons here and let's just hammer it down, I guess. Looking good so far. We can actually face tank. Oh, okay, that was actually way better than expected. So sometimes, you know, as soon as you hit certain thresholds on the life pool of the boss, if he is starting another cast, then it's most likely going to be the ball phase. Didn't happen here, so awesome build, man. This insane build. So, and we got our first shield and an Eldritch Annual. So if this is not going to be very high rolled, then I think that the first one is actually going to be a money loss. But hey, this happens, right? And it is 17, 12, 17, so that's one of the shields that probably go for like 3 chaos, 4 chaos, 5 chaos. Alright, I'm gonna run 100 of these now, and then we're gonna see us again with the results. Alrighties, done with killing 100 Uber Searing Exarchs. And yeah, we got a lot of boots, a lot of staffs, a lot of shields, and a few of very valuable goodies, I would say. So let's take a look at the final results. We do have about 26 Annihilating Lights, that are not perfectly rolled, but 6 that are perfectly rolled. These are these over here. All of them have 60%. They should sell about 80 chaos a piece. Then we have 27 booties. No matter what they are still trash. Even perfectly rolled, I think they're still trash. Whatever. Then we have 33 Dawnbreakers with something like low rolls, mid rolls. I mean, they can range from like 3 chaos to 30 chaos. I did not make the effort to price check everything. 2 exceptions. 1 did roll with a 20% physical damage taken as fire, which is about 140 chaos. And 1 that I put in here for good roll, because this thing is 3 off perfect. So we have perfect armor, perfect chance to block, perfect cold damage, 1 off lightning damage, and 2 off physical damage. While price checking them, I think like somewhere around 3 divines, could be 1 divine, could be 5 divines. It's like, I think physical damage taken as fire is the most valuable stat. So I assume when this would be a 20 roll, it's maybe like a 20 divine shield or something. I'm just pretty sure that these shields, when they are very high rolled, that they can go for like 50 divines or something like that, because then I assume that people would use like Hinakora's locks to get like the perfect double corruption or something like that. Might be, might not be, I don't care, because I didn't drop one. Let me quickly do this sell here with the Defines banner. I think it was a 21, no, it's actually a 2020. It's actually crazy how much they're selling for. Alright, that should sound about 0.8. D&D slash clear, as always, forgetting that. Alright, let's keep on going with our loot list here. Then we have a couple Dissolution of Flesh. The first one was worth a lot more than the others, which is a 28. So, you know, when you get closer to perfect roll, I don't even know what a perfect roll would go for. About 3 divines for the perfect roll. This is 2 off, and that's why it is like 100 chaos, but the rest, nothing too crazy. Then we have 1 single of the Uber boss drop boots, which is the Annihilation's Approach, which is, I think it dropped like on run number 98. So yeah, it was almost 100 without ever getting any of these boots. 1 Reliquary Key. Same as the Uber Eater, basically. Then we got a bunch of, like, you know, bubblegum currency in that case. But don't think, like, they are selling for a lot. Especially once you bulk them up. You sell, like, 1 for probably 3.5 or so. Or, like, 1 divine for, like, 4 or something like that. So this is actually quite a lot of currency, even though it doesn't look like that. And now to the big winners, which I assumed in the first place, which is the Forbidden Flame and Flesh combination. So we got a couple valuable ones. Here, number 2 was about 39 divines, which was the Pathfinder one. So, I mean, when they drop the price check, then another is like 1 for 36, 1 for 37, and so on. But when I price checked, the cheapest one was 39, so this is this one. Then we have 1 for 4 divines. I'm going to take care about that. But the Omega big one was this one over here, number 10. We got the Dead Eye one from Scion. And why is this so expensive? Because a lot of like armor stackers in the Scion version with Lightning Strike are using that. And that is currently going for like somewhere between, yeah, around 90 divines on that. And for the total loot, we got about 199 divines. So over here, so we put this minus the investment, we got about 76 divines profit. And I think if I compare it, because I always like to compare the Eater of Worlds to the Searing Exarch, because it's not like you compare Maven for Cyrus and so on, right? I think like they're like brothers or twins. I don't know about the lore, you know, but you know, Red and Blue and Exarch and Eater and 2 endgame bosses and stuff like that. They with the altars and the same investment. How would I compare those 2 bosses? Well, I think the blue one, the Eater of Worlds, is more of a gamble because the majority of the money that you get is coming from the Ashes of the Stars. And since we know that the red jewels from Forbidden Flame Flesh is usually going for more than the blue version, I think it's all about the Ashes. And the drop chances are not high. I was lucky, you know, with my, if you watched the video, here I got 1 Omniscience in 100 Uber bosses. So based on that, absolutely no chance of winning. But there are several very high valuable Forbidden Flames, and that's why farming the Searing Exarch was for me better overall. You know, my build can also face tank all the balls that the Searing Exarch does. So that wasn't a problem either. It was just like a bit annoying. If you don't really one-shot him, then like you have like 3-4 ball phases back to back and you cannot even kill him in between because he's instantly facing again. So that was annoying. but it was very easy for my build. So, but yeah, that's about a 76 Divine's profit. If we would not get the big one, we would basically have negative. This is like the kind of a problem. I mean, you are supposed to drop big stuff when you're doing the big bosses, right? But the problem is, if I'm doing like magic finding in like Crimson Temple, you know, you're also gonna make a lot of currency without the apothecaries. But I think on these two Exarch and Eater bosses, it's either the Edge of the Stars or like an Omega Big Forbidden Flame Flash that actually carries the entire load basically of the bosses. And if you don't get one of these, you're basically spending time and money to get profit. And if you don't drop one of the good ones, you're actually making negative currency, which in my opinion sucks pretty bad, because even the bad strategies, if you map like an hour, you usually do like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 divines with a bad strategy in essence or some shit, you know. But if you do those consistently and you're doing that for 3, 4, 5 hours of uber bossing, and at the end of the day you have negative money made, this is like feeling even worse. But there is still a bit of hope. This is like the overall outcome, as I said, 76.7 Divine's profit. So now let's open the reliquary key and maybe get a nice, maybe we get a second Forbidden Flame Flash thingy. I always call it Forbidden Flame Flash. Obviously, it's the Forbidden Flame. Flame is red. Flame is red. And we get boots. Or staff. Or shield. Maybe this is the big one. Oh! Wait a second. It's a 20% Fizz is Fire. The 20% Fizz is Fire is already worth... it has actually a good armor roll as well. But like 3 divines. But I don't know if this is... Oh, wait. It says foil unique, you know? So, yeah, like 150 C or something. But it is foil. It has some decent... Yeah, make it 151 chaos because it's foil. And woo, shiny. That was like not the good part. So what else could we do? Either... Like, I'm not gonna do this right now, but this is something you could do. Is I think that should work if you vendor a recipe 3 to 1. Since we have the bad shields now, right? And maybe you can just like sell these 3 to 1 and try to get one of the good rolled ones. You can... Boots doesn't matter. Whatever you with the boots, they're still shit. But here, we could val the shitty ones. Just because if they get cast speed as implicit... And I don't even think you need to like quality them up. If you get cast speed on the implicit on those, they should sell for a couple divines, because despite the fact, even like probably if I get one, it's gonna be a 70 roll, which is like very bad. Some bricks over here, but let's look for I don't know, man. This is like not too many to check, right? A bunch of bricks. Here we had like flat coal damage is completely useless. Anything else that we got here? Here is one with actually 15% max roll cast speed. Critical strike chance is base critical strike. This is like a caster stuff, so you don't really want to like hit people with that, so that doesn't really matter too much. Here as well, cast speed, critical strike chance. So we got one with a perfect cast speed, but it's a 65 roll. So let's see how much is this worth with a perfect one. It's about a divine, maybe 14. 100 chaos, 150 chaos. Well, let's say it is still better than the previous version, the non-bald one. You could probably... I don't know if this works with the corrupted version. Maybe it works. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't work. Probably because it's corrupted. So there's like ways before you just completely like vendor them. You know, cast speed or something is very valuable on these ones. As I said, the perfect ones we're gonna sell like that. Shields, as I said, vendor recipe, and that is pretty much it as far as I see. We put in this one, put in that one. So yeah, boys, I think now after doing that, I think that the Exarch, the red one, is kind of better to farm than the blue one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.